Well, folks, it's Yamil for Gunstock Reviews. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona at the world headquarters of Enloe Custom Guns with Marty. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good, good. Hey, before we start, I'd like to ask you please to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel so we may continue to bring you the content that you guys really like. Marty, I have the STR9c version of the Stoeger 9mm pistol, and for sake of brevity, we removed the plate cover from the pistol so we can have Marty install a red dot on it. Marty, here it is, clear. Clear.
Thank you.
And this thing comes with a bunch of plates. Comes with 4 different plates for different kinds of red dots. And we're going to use a Tru-Glo micro red dot. This is one of the newest and greatest from Tru-Glo. And we, for sake of brevity too, we removed it from its base. It actually, when it ships from the factory, the base is not installed. Everything is separate, and you put it together as you wish. If you want to put spacers or any of that stuff. The screws that came out of the pistol are here. The plate, the original plate cover is here, and you pretty much use everything that comes with them because we already looked at it, and the screws that they send to install the scope to the base is metric. But the screws that Tru-Glo sends are American. So you said they are 3.5?
I'm not big on metric sizes, but really with my gauge here, it would be 0.3 and or at least I think it's M3 and 0.5. So I think they're I can't think of it on the top of my head, but it's basically 3mm 0.5 thread pitch.
Okay,
So
what I'm going to do is, also another thing that Marty discovered is they use slotted heads on these screws. And even though I like those for pistols, I don't think, for pistol grips, I don't think they're a good idea for this kind of purpose.
Well, the tapered head is actually gonna snug them down pretty good. But yeah, if you're trying to remove them, they're easier to strip than say like a hex head or something.
Or
like
Torx.
That. Yeah. Torx, but you know, it's a little difficult to find Torx heads that have a taper to them. Not to say you can't find them, but you gotta go looking, and usually you gotta buy them by like a box of 100 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've done that before, just for one screw, about a box or 100.
Yeah, that's usually how those go.
Well,
Yeah.
I do have a bag if you ever need Wolf firing pin springs.
For what gun?
For 1911.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I needed like 5, and the smallest bag for a decent price was of a bag of 100 from Brownell. So I want to buy a bag of 100. So I have a huge bag of firing pin springs at home. If you need any, just let me know. So we found the plate that is necessary for it. It fits great. You have to use their screws that are a little bit too short. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some research at my local Ace hardware store and see if I can get longer ones. We might have to grind them to make them fit.
Yeah, which is fine. You know, if you're getting a good purchase on it, yeah. I mean, this will work for at least ordinary range time right now. But for like normal carry, yeah, the screw's a little too short right now.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's install the base onto it, and then let's also install the scope onto it too. We could drill and tap that for the American, this base for the American. It's more work than it's worth it just to get new screws.
Right.
You know, so we're better off just getting new screws. So, okay, now it's taken apart. Marty, do your magic.
Okay. We kind of staged this a little bit, but here is our plate. Or we've checked our plate, and we're actually using the original screws here. And one of the reasons we're doing this, they already kind of have a little bit of Loctite on here. But one thing we wanted to make sure is that you can actually kind of see. It's probably not easy for the camera to see, but I can actually kind of see the top here of kind of a portion where the extractor would be coming through, right? So you've got this plunger here, and then you've got the extractor. But what we don't want to have happen is that we don't want to have anything bottom out in here. And we've already kind of checked that just to be certain. There are guns this can happen with, like Glocks famously. They can have a screw come in through some of these RMR mounts and bottom out on the extractor rod, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I am going to do here is I'm going to put just a smidge, like a very tiny amount of Loctite. And I usually kind of tap Loctite onto a table, and then I just grab something and I kind of smear it a little bit. I'm using a very minimal amount here. I don't need a ton. You can I basically just got the screw threads wet. And partially that is because of these tapered heads. If these things get too tight, they're near impossible to get out. And the other reason why is because these slotted screws like to deform, in which case that happens. You get them too tight, you get them to the point where they're deforming coming out, then you got to bring them to me if you ever try to remove them, because they can be difficult. So from here, right, I basically am doing it on the screw itself, because what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to take my Loctite and then dump it all down in here, because now it's going to be all over in here, right? And there is something of a through hole down in here, and I don't want it around the extractor or the firing pin.
No.
I haven't pulled this gun completely apart. I don't think it should go through there, but I don't know, right? And so that's one of the reasons why we're exercising caution. And there's no need for me to go that far. So.
Oh, I've had a case that with a excess rail on a Ruger Scout rifle that it had so much Loctite put in that I literally had to torch the screws out, and I had to drill one of the screws out.
Well, we just had to torch this thing off here just now, and I mean, it didn't have a ton of Loctite, but it had enough, right? So now I'm coming in, I'm snugging these things down. There's a tiny amount of Loctite, but like I say, these tapered head screws, they like to kind of not back out that easily also, right? So you can see the tips of my fingers. I'm not doing this a ton, right? I don't need a tremendous amount of torque, right? And really, if I sit here and I crank it, fingertips. Yes, I've been doing this a long time. I've got strong fingers, but I'm not somebody who's able to just gorilla this in place. And so I don't have a torque spec for this, right? But the fact is that I don't need to go much more than probably 5-10 inch-pounds, and it's just because it's not coming off, right? And then from here, right, we'll grab our sight and our 2 small screws that go with it.
Okay, I put them here on the magnet so they don't fly away. And like I said, these screws are just a tad too short. So should we don't even worry about putting too much Loctite in it, because I'm going to take them out?
Well, the Loctite is there just to kind of just keep it in place a little bit, but I mean, I don't anticipate these would be that hard. You can see I'm just getting these things wet. I mean, like I say, if I'm sitting here like, let's squirt the bottle on here. I mean, that's not necessary, right? But it is one of those things that we can kind of at least entertain and look at and go, all right, here's what not to do.
Okay, that's a great idea, yeah. And what I'm thinking also for this purpose here, I'll go to the Ace Hardware and try to get a little longer screws for that, just a tad longer. And if we have to grind them off a tad, we'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and you can see I'm coming in here, and some of this should bottom out in that aluminum as well. So there will be a little bit of press here, but actually those are going in pretty good. But yeah, they're probably only hanging on by about
one or two
threads, yeah.
Yeah.
But having said that, there it is. I mean, not bad. I like the green dot.
And that's kind of cool. And by the way, showing our viewers, these are the extra 3 plates that come with it. One is for RMR, one is for whatever, and one is for whatever. I don't know what they are for, but there's so many variations of these sights that are red dots out there that you have to make a plate for just about everything.
You do.
So that thing takes down and puts together just like a Glock, right?
It's amazing how close this thing is to a Glock. Aside from it has a very fancy cheese grater on the back here.
Yeah, well,
I mean, its grip is comfortable except for that cheese grater.
Well, these are the cool thing about these is that you can grind them down to your taste.
Yes.
So yeah, they are kind of stiff. And actually, one thing that I mentioned in my videos about them that I don't like them, they only send 1 magazine with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's a no frills box. You don't get a fancy box. You get 1 magazine, pistol, and this one comes with a kit for installing a red dot on it. One thing I told you before, off camera, I wish that they would they would have the optics ready version of the full-size pistol, which I like the full-size pistol a little better, but this one doesn't look too bad. You know, the green dot is pretty cool. You can see it during daytime a whole lot better.
Yeah, yeah. I recently just had a conversation with somebody who their husband was colorblind and was having trouble finding red dots. So I mean, that's a great solution right there for me to say, oh hey, go look at these, because he really had a hard time seeing red.
And the little plastic cover fits perfectly well on it. So we're ready to go. Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it. Hey guys, like always, please remain healthy, stay safe, and definitely have fun at the range.
Thank you for watching Gunstock Reviews. Please visit our website at www.gunstockreviews.com for more exclusive content. Please visit our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/gunstockreviews. Your contributions would be greatly appreciated and help us grow our selections and frequency of videos.